If you're starting a podcast and you don't know whether or not to go for a large diaphragm condenser microphone or a dynamic microphone, this video is for you. Let's get into it. Welcome back, folks. My name's Shane. As you can tell, we've got two microphones set up on the desk, the Rode NT1 large diaphragm condenser microphone and the Rode Procaster dynamic microphone. Now, this one's actually designed for podcasting, and I'm going to give you the pros and cons of both, and hopefully this video will help you decide which one's right for you if you want to go down that route. I've left some links in the description as well. Don't forget to check those out also. So I just picked this microphone up about a week ago, and I have to say I'm pretty impressed with it. One of the things that really shocked me with the Rode Procaster is the fact that you really have to crank the gain up on your audio interface for it to get signal, basically. It's nowhere near as hot of a microphone in terms of gain as the Rode NT1. The NT1 is a nice, clear microphone. It has more sibilance on the top end. This is all stuff you can adjust in post. If you don't know what sibilance is, it means the S and C words generally stand out a little bit more. There's more of that frequency in there. One of the small downsides of a microphone like this is it will pick up more ambient noise. So if you're in a loud environment, if you've got a street out there with lots of cars going by, or even a loud computer fan, this microphone will hear more of everything. It will hear more of the desk if I was to bump it with my hand or anything like that. So these microphones, while they sound spectacular, they can be more problematic if you don't have it set up properly, or if you're just in a loud environment. If that's the case, I don't suggest you buy one of these. I suggest you buy one of these. Now, I'm going to show you just how quickly this will lose signal if I get away from the microphone. So here we go. This is me talking straight into the front. Now, if I move off to the side, I've actually raised my voice because I can see my audio levels have dropped. This is the level I was just talking at. So as you can see, as soon as you get on the side of the microphone, it just rejects the sound even more. And if you get right behind it, you're hardly going to hear anything, right? You're hardly going to hear anything from back there at all. And that's a good thing if someone else is in the room with you doing a podcast. So if you've got a guest or two hosts, this would definitely be the best choice because it's not going to get a lot of spill from the other person. You have to be right up on the grill, or close to it at least, for it to sound its best, basically. Now, dynamic microphones are a different technology to condenser microphones, which require phantom power. These don't, so you can plug them into any desk or whatever that has an XLR input, or even a jack input to some extent. I wouldn't really recommend that, but any XLR interface should have no problems with a mic like this. The NT1 really does require phantom power for it to work. It won't work otherwise, so just be very cautious of that. Now, if you don't know what these terms are, head over to geekynerdytechie.com. I've got a website dedicated to some of this stuff that I'm talking about right now. Another thing to consider too, if you're a musician and you like to record acoustic guitar, or you sing, or something like that, the Rode NT1 is a no-brainer. I would take this over the Rode Procaster without question. I've actually used this to track my own vocals and other people's vocals that actually had airplay here in Australia. So it's a really great microphone, and we did it, believe it or not, in an untreated room. A lot of people will tell you that you need a treated room to use a condenser microphone. That's not the case. I actually have my computer on back here. It's a desktop. And while I can hear it acoustically in the room, I know already it's not going to come up on this microphone. I've used it enough to know that. If a loud truck goes by, though, that's where you might hear it, sort of spilling into the microphone. If you're just doing a podcast, or you're doing a podcast that has someone else in the room, like I mentioned, then the Rode Procaster is a no-brainer. Now, I'm right up on the grill, and I feel like that's how it sounds its best, but you can also get a little bit of plosives from this microphone. You'll get a whole lot from the Rode NT1 without the grill. So if you do buy either one of these microphones, make sure you get one of these little guys. You can just put this on the top of the microphone. It helps get rid of those plosives, which are the B and B words, P and B words, that actually kind of like boom the microphones, that air going into the capsule. So I'm going to put this on. This is how the Rode Procaster sounds now with the wind filter currently on. I like to use it. It does knock out a little bit of top end, but it's nothing you can't add in post. Whereas trying to remove the plosives from your recording, if you do get them, it's kind of a bit tricky. The microphone's actually pretty resilient against some plosives, but I did notice after using it for a week that there are some that are still getting through. And if you're using a microphone like this that has a little pop filter in the front, you don't really have that problem. If I was to record without it, it would be next to useless at this distance. Every P or B word would just make the microphone boom uncontrollably. So if you do get a condenser microphone or even one of these, I still suggest using some sort of filter on there just to make sure you're not going to get any problems with those plosives. It really ruins the recording and also becomes really distracting as a listener. What you're about to hear now is just a quick sample of how both of these microphones can sound with a little bit of post-production. I may add some EQ, whatever I do on screen, I'll let you know. So this is the Rode NT1. I already know I'm going to add a noise gate. This is an effect you hear on a lot of podcasts. Essentially, when you stop talking, it will mute the audio so you don't get any, or you get less background noise. Basically, you can set the threshold and then it removes anything under that threshold. So this is how the Rode NT1 sounds. And this is how the Rode Procaster sounds now with a little bit of post-production and noise gate applied. Let me know what you think of this in comparison to the Rode NT1. Let me know in the comments which one you like the best and why, or you can also vote up in the cards. If this video has been helpful, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I'll leave some links, as I mentioned, in the description. You can check them out as well. But overall, it's a really great mic. I would choose this if A, I'm in a noisy environment, or B, I've got someone else in the room doing the podcast with me. I would choose the Rode NT1 if I'm a musician, like I am, and I want to track my own vocal on an album or acoustic guitar. This would be a much better choice for that. But just be aware, you can also use it for podcasts, but just be aware it does pick up more ambient noise. So if you are using a microphone like this, maybe record at a time of day that's not so noisy, either at your house or wherever you live in your area. I usually do my podcasts in the evening when there's not a lot of traffic going past and all that kind of stuff, and I've never had a problem with this microphone. It may pick up the odd barking dog from time to time, but I just wait a minute, I start again, and I'm good. So it's just one of those things. Yeah, let me know which one you like the best and why. Thanks again for watching. My name's Shane, and I will catch you on the next video. Catch you soon.